2, let's continue looking through Carrie's collection and see if we can find some cool stuff in these glassines. Okay, so we're going to continue on. Let's go ahead and begin with this Polish, Ireland, Liberia, and Finland glassine. Spread this out on the table, see what kind of stuff's in there. Let's take a look here. Like a fair bit of material. It is right after work once again, and that's a semi-postal. Yeah, some of these semi-postals can actually have decent cat, so I'll be on the lookout for some of these. But the thought of trying to catalog all of them that may be in here. Oh, that one's got some damage. Take a bit of time. You know, actually I forgot, maybe after this glassine, I'll show you the dealer approval book from the last video, which was actually the first item I looked at. Had what I suspected to be some decent stamps, and there was. I'll have to look at what I wrote, but I actually ended up cataloging the entire approval book. It took a little while. I really am not a Great Britain master as far as stamps. I have some idea what's going on, but not like a whole lot. But I have spent time in the catalog and looked at the older issues. That's kind of cool. I like that. My camera won't focus. I'll have to change the settings if I want that to happen. I'll just keep cruising. But I have spent time in the cat and seen older, the original, the older stuff in Great Britain. And just like every other country, it's usually portraits, really old-looking portraits of their rulers or royalty. The interesting thing, about stamps, just to talk, we have this stamp here. This looks like a really old stamp. This is actually a super duper high value. It says a 3 million? Jesus, what the heck? Catches my interest. I'm going to keep that aside. Where was I headed with my last thought? Okay, so, like, you have, like, really old stamps. I mean, this thing looks really old, and you just think, like, wow, that's probably worth a lot, and it's worth, like, nothing. That's a weird thing about stamps. It's cool, 1938. Kind of speed this up. They can be very deceiving. You'll think that they're worth something, and they're not. It's a strange thing to have something that's, 150 years old, and it's worth 10 cents, but that's the tricky part of stamps. One of the tricky parts. Poland here. This is an imperforate. It's kind of cool. I'm going to set these aside. I don't know if I'm actually going to catalog them all, but I like that. That's cool. Lynx 450 ZT. I'm just going to set aside anything I think may be cool, worthwhile. I was looking at one of Exploring Stamps' videos, and he did a video. It's probably not worth much, super common, I guess. There's another. One of his videos, he was messing around with that Connect app. That is a stamp identifier. I actually went to download it and realized I already had it on my phone. I just forgot about it. And, he released a video where he talked about that stamp identifier app like a year ago now. And so I pulled it back out after watching this video again, and I'll be darned, that thing is actually really cool, you guys. So if you haven't ever used it, basically you just got your smartphone, you download the app. It's a pretty easy, simple thing to do. It's called Stamp Identifier by Connect. Has a little stamp with a magnifying glass as the icon. and download it. When you get to the home screen, after opening it up, you have a little camera icon so you can snap a picture of your stamp, and you just put the stamp on the desk, kind of get it nice and flat and square with the camera, snap a pic, and then you're able to crop it down to the perfs of the stamp, so you get a nice clean cut picture of the stamp, and you say identify, and it does its best, works its magic to try and identify what the stamp is. Just like in his video, you'll have success sometimes and not others. You know, nothing's perfect, but these are pretty recent here. Oh, Gandhi. But yeah, I found it incredibly useful. See, like this one, I have no idea where this is in the cat right off the bat. It says 2 zelote. See, I'm not familiar so much with their currency. What is a zelote? But I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it just makes it so easy. Instead of digging through the catalog, just searching and searching, I'll just snap a picture of it with my smartphone and at least attempt to see if the identifier app will work. And I have found that thing saving me a buttload of time. I think it's great. I recommend it. Check it out if you haven't yet. For any of you guys, you know, like trying to identify a whole bunch of different stamps, and you just like hate the catalog and want to try to avoid it at all costs, that thing is unbelievable. So yeah, I don't see anything crazy in here. So I absolutely love it. I probably have about the same success rate as Exploring Stamps gentleman did. Oh, Graham Beck. I was forgetting his name for a second. About 8 out of 10, you know, about 80%. There's a couple stamps that just, for some reason, doesn't seem to work. Won't figure it out. So I just hop right in the catalog at that point. Actually had a pretty good look through this one. I'm taking my time more than the other ones that I've gone through so far. But yeah, I love that app. And just a side note, you're going to want to have it on a black background, your stamp, like my desktopper here, something like that. You know, something I'm thinking while I'm looking at these, because like I have all these set aside here, you know, just so I can look them up just for fun after this video. Oh, Hippo, that's super cool. And anyway, something I'm thinking about is just using the app, take a picture of each of these, and I don't think there's going to be really anything super special, but that'll make a quick business of any of the things that I'm questioning here. Alright, $2, Liberia. I'll set that aside. You gotta love Exploring Stamps. What a great YouTube channel. Graham Beck's a great guy for... I mean, he's just intelligent, and he comes up with all kinds of great information. Lots of cool history. Look at that thing. That's cool. $2 again. Overprinted OS. I'm setting that aside. Yeah, I suspect none of these are probably really worth much. I set aside, but I still am curious about them. That's super common. So let's slip all these back. So just so you guys know, no, I'm not cherry picking. I had some guy named Jeffrey comment and say that I was cherry picking her collection, which is just plain old silly. I'm not stealing anything. I'm doing all this just for fun, guys. I'm not doing this for a cent. It's all for free, all for fun. It was nice of her to send it for me to check out and give it a go. And yeah, I do appreciate it. He also was trying to give me crap for laughing. Said I was laughing at her collection, which was rude and unprofessional. But let me tell you something. I am doing this for fun, and it is kind of funny to me. What I'm actually laughing about is the irony that I feel when going through this kind of stuff. The irony of how you can have so much material and it not be very valuable, and that's just the nature of these stamps. You know, not like laughing directly at Carrie. What the heck? And I'm just having fun. I'm having a little drinky poo while I'm doing this, and yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that. I mean, obviously I'm not stealing anything. That's just ridiculous, and kind of rude to even assume that I'm doing that. But yeah, I'm allowed to laugh. I'm having fun, all loosey-goosey. Everybody can take a chill pill, you know, just sort through these bags with me. You know, we're all adults. No reason to get upset and uptight. Clench your butthole about it. Take it easy. This is for fun. I always did like this one. This is a super duper tiny one. Little Indian head penny. This, I think it's a penny. Super small stamp. There's been some really tiny stamp releases. A buffalo, that's cool. I was just watching a video of this guy who's tamed a buffalo just today. Pretty crazy thing. Those buffalo weigh over a ton. They are dangerous. E pluribus unum stamp. 60 cents, 2002. You know, I know this isn't worth anything, but actually I don't know. Well, I have a really strong feeling it's not, but I can't say that I remember seeing this stamp. So anyways, I'm going to set it aside as well. So this is just a tiny glassine full of, oh yeah, small stamps. Let's see what else we got. Domestic mail. Yeah. Seems like the owner of this collection has decided to group stamps by just about any sort of theme he could think of into these glassines. Small stamps, huh? 1938 presidential series. Let me move this over. Presidential, so these are very common stamps. On paper. Slogan, cancel, earn, learn, serve. Weird. I don't think I've seen that slogan. Earn, learn, and serve. So yeah, these are nothing. Nothing here. Boy, have I gone through a lot of these ones, I'll tell you what. Nothing gravy in there. We're gonna move right on. Let me have a shot. I'm gonna pause for a sec. Actually, that's right. I was gonna show you the approval book from a first video. So, short story. Yes, I actually went and cataloged every stamp in here. Now, this book definitely goes from oldest and then goes to newest at the end. These are actually pretty cool. Like this number 78, worth $13.50 in the cat. These guys number 89, worth $2. All of them are die too. Let's see, 111, this orange one, actually a few of those. Then we have number 98. This one I actually had a little bit of a difficult time figuring out because there's usually supposed to be some little star in the corner, these little ears, and there's not on these stamps. And the thing is, the stamp identifier didn't work, and these were in the catalog. They were obviously number 98, but what was the deal? They actually were listed in the catalog before the design, so they must have been like added in later as a variation or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't even have an explanation for it. Anyways, I just found this number 98 to be a total pain in the butt to figure out what it was. That took me a pretty bit of time, a pretty little minute there. But I figured it out eventually, with enough Google searching, believe it or not. So yeah, they're kind of big into like 25-cent catalog value after the first couple pages, but this is a pretty good book. And like these ones, let's see, number 248, these brown 1 shilling stamps, 70 cents a piece, right? And she's got a whole like 30 duplicates of them. So I identified every single stamp. I put the values, I added up each page, and then I added all the pages, and I ended up with 174.75 catalog value. So this whole book, mainly because of these first few pages, actually has really good catalog value. I mean, wow, that was cool. Now, it did take a while to add all this up, but it's a little bit of work for sure to catalog every one of these, but it was cool to put a number to it at the end. And then, so I actually think that they're in pretty good shape for the most part. Unfortunately, kind of like this first half a page is missing the top half, and I am curious of what was there. Well, also like somebody typed out some good stamps. This was 5 shillings, this was 12 shillings, 6 pence. So somebody already had gutted this book of probably the most valuable stamps. Pretty common thing to run across when you get new stuff to look at, but I wonder what was the top half of this page, what was there. I bet you it was pretty good, since they all would have likely been older than this number 78. So anyways, I did some math, 174.75, 20% of that is $35. Now that's a little bit gracious, right? I don't know if this would really sell for that, probably more like 15 or 10%, but so that's $35. So you can say this book is actually worth, like in real world value of what you could really turn around and sell it for, probably $30 or so, which is pretty cool. So this is not a bad book here. Anyways, I just wanted to share that, I had bothered to actually do that and see what that one was worth. Okay, Australia. If I'm not mistaken, there's a lot of Australia in this guy's collection. Looks like a whole bunch of duplicates there. Duplicates. Oh, let me bring you back down so you can see them better. Okay. So they're going to start working out outside of my door. I can tell. I can hear them messing around. So you guys hear some footsteps or some music or something, sorry about that. But they usually work out right after I get home. It's right outside my door. So I have to talk to you guys about the nightmarish scenario that has happened to me today with Hip Stamp, and it just broke my heart, and it really actually pissed me off. So basically, I have a Hip Stamp store, and it's cool. I have since early 2021 or something like that. It's been almost a couple of years, or maybe even more, but no, not more. Just about a couple of years. So I had been doing a featured store and a monthly subscription plan, which is like $38 a month or something. I don't even sell. I wasn't selling enough to even pay for that, so I was totally losing money on Hip Stamp for like the first couple of years here. But it's kind of turned around a little for me, thankfully. But it's the cost of like starting out and don't have any customer base, don't have any ratings, that kind of stuff. So anyways, in October, they charge you on the first of the month. So, actually October 8th they debit my account, which is they tally me for, they're going to take money, and so I had a debit on October 8th, and then they actually charged me on the 1st, and that is super cool. Look at that guy. Spot-tailed quoll. What the hell? Oh, my battery's gonna die, hold on. Okay. New battery. So yeah, they charged me on the 1st. I actually had changed from a monthly featured store to a basic store just to try and save on the money, to be honest. I'm trying to actually make a little bit of money selling these stamps and not just go negative It's kind of pointless, right? I'm not expecting to get rich at all, but any kind of extra little bits here and there. Oh my gosh, that reminds me, I actually need to ship an order. I sold like a dollar stamp or something this earlier today. But anyways, I'm not trying to get rich. I just want to make a little bit extra money selling the stuff that I don't want. And like, it's good stuff, you know, why not? And so they charged me for a whole year, which is like $120. I decided to do the switch to annual. You save a little bit if you do annually, and I think I'll be selling stamps for the next foreseeable year or more, so it makes sense to do that. And so that was back in October 1st, you know, so 2 days ago, on November 1st, I got charged $240. And it's like, what the heck? I just happened to look at my credit card and it was like $240. You know, what's that about? And it turns out they had charged me for 2 subscription fees for the basic annual store in Hipstamp. And so these are super common here. Benjamin Washington. I was like, what the heck is the point of that? First of all, I just paid for an annual subscription in a month ago, so I should be covered until 2023, in October of 2023. And so I sent an email to them and was like, hey guys, what the hell? You know, what is that? Why am I being charged twice for an annual subscription that I just paid for a month ago? So that means I'm on like I'm paying for 3 basic subscriptions right now. Like, what the heck? So this is where it gets weird. Okay, this is what really is starting to make me question Hipstamp and just what the hell is going on here. But I took a good look at my account history, which is all the transactions, right? The debits. These are kind of cool. Ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Sports. Huh. I took a good look at the transactions, and this was 2 days ago, right? It's the 3rd, so on the 1st, that's when I noticed the charges. I took a good look at the page with all my different account history transactions. Any of you guys that sell on Hipstamp, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a page. It just shows all the fees you've paid for listing fees and, you know, store setup fees and subscription fees and stuff. The next, small windmills. So today I got an email, finally, 2 days later, from one of their support specialists, and telling me, you know, like a breakdown of my payments and stuff. Now the funny thing is, they took a screenshot of my account history and sent it as part of the email. They do a little Photoshop stuff where they like make boxes and tell you what this and that is, and it's kind of nice support. But when I was looking at the email, my history had completely changed. My jaw hit the floor. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Wow, these really are just a bunch of tiny windmills. It's funny. No high value stuff, but yeah. So I was absolutely gobsmacked. My history had been manipulated or changed, or I thought I thought they must be looking at somebody else's history, because the history that you're showing me is not the history that I was looking at 2 days ago, you know. And some Washingtons. I logged on to Hipstamp, was looking at my history. It was just like an email. It somehow, my actual history, which we all know shouldn't change, its history, was different. There was transactions missing, and different stuff on there. I mean, like, it was saying just different stuff, and God, I had to spend about 45 minutes earlier today just cognating what could have happened here, and because I'm pretty sure that it literally changed like overnight, like as soon as this account specialist hopped in my account, suddenly my history is different. So I thought that was extremely weird, and it definitely worried me. And he was explaining, that I'm on a featured subscription plan, and he broke down the fees for me in the email. Number 119, mint original gum. Mint original gum. These aren't mint. They're on paper and stuff. What the heck? But anyways, these aren't worth anything. Sorry, it was kind of a I guess a long story, but we have time. Because this is important to me. And for any of you guys who sell on Hipstamp, I want you to be careful, because this happened to me just today. So basically, hold on, let me switch this up real quick, because I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about this. This stuff blew my mind. Okay, and just real quick, we're gonna get through this, and then we'll get back to stamps. Okay. My account history had changed. All right. Now, with the email that they sent me saying that I'm now on a featured subscription plan, I actually noticed a $360 annual subscription charge that was on my account history. Now, I must have just completely missed that, because that was back on October 8th. Even though they charge you in the first of the month, if you go above $250 for anything, they charge you at that point. So with an expensive subscription plan that I don't know anything about or why I'm even being charged for it, they charged me on October 8th. Somehow I completely missed that on my credit card statement, but my statement did correspond with my account history on that, so it happened. Somehow I got into a annual featured subscription charge 7 days after I paid for a basic annual subscription on the 1st. Anyways, so what the hell is this $360 annual subscription charge out of nowhere? And then why am I getting charged 2 basic annual store subscriptions on the 1st of this month, 2 days ago? I should be covered until October 1st of 2023 for a basic store. So I had to spend about an hour and a half figuring out all this stuff, looking at my bank account statements versus my new account history, which had completely changed. And I wrote this long blabbing email and took screenshots of my credit card transactions versus my actual brand new account history, and my credit card transactions that totally happened were not any longer in my account history. And it was very disconcerting. I was just, what the F is going on? I'm literally, right now, I'm out $600 on my credit card between 2 basic store subscription fees and the featured store subscription fee. $600 that I'm paying interest on, that there's literally no explanation for, because I should have just been on a basic store plan since October 1st, and all this has happened since then. So I sent an email, was like, what are all these subscription charges? Okay, this needs to get refunded, and how the hell did my account history change since I sent my first email? And so key points before we get right back into these stamps. Sorry, I'm blabbing. This is fresh in my mind, and I'm still kind of livid about it. If you notice some weird stuff, check your account history. If you're a Hipstamp seller, look at your subscriptions and just make sure that they match your credit card transactions. And if you notice anything weird, take a screenshot on your computer. I regret that I didn't do that. I mean, it's not a big deal. I have proof with the credit card transactions that they charged me, so I'm good. But I wish that I had taken a screenshot of Windows icon and then print screen on your computer keyboard, and it'll save the screen in your pictures screenshots folder. That way, in the email I could have sent a reference and been like, guys, this is literally my account history 2 days ago, And here's the history that I'm looking at now. History should not change. How can that be? Why aren't my payments on my account history? Craziness. So I'm waiting to hear back from them, and crazy stuff, guys. What the hell is going on with Hipstamp? I really love Hipstamp. I like buying, I like selling on there. It's my #1 go-to. But let me tell you something. This is very scary stuff for me. And like, I don't want to have to go through disputing credit card charges. I mean, like, if they didn't give me my money back, like, I don't want to go to court for this, but I mean, it's $600, you know, what the hell. So just be careful, guys. You know, I've given up on eBay just because their fees are so high, and moved to Hipstamp because of that. But I have never ever had any kind of real issues with account history or transactions or anything, you know, any kind of digital logs or anything like that on eBay. I mean, they've got a pretty solid system for that, and it kind of makes me feel like Hipstamp's like some rinky-dink baloney. I have a really strong suspicion, so this is all common. That's cool. Flash. I have a strong suspicion, and I'm not kidding you, I looked at it yesterday too, that whenever this customer service rep logged into my account, they did something, like, and apparently they're able to manipulate my account history, which should not be the case. As far as that's how I feel. I mean, like, could you imagine somebody going into your credit card or your bank account and changing the transactions? I mean, that's really messed up, dude. That is crazy. Should not even be able to have the capability to do that. I don't know, I guess they would, right? They made the platform. Looney Tunes. It's funny. They made the platform. It's their website. Let's say there was something corrupt or whatever, and they needed to put in a proper thing. But you know, some account service rep, like some customer service rep, should not be able to change the history in my account on a whim. You know. So this is 2 little vegetable stamps. That's incredibly messed up. Presidential series looks like just 2 stamps in there. Scott 845 says $1.50. No, it's not particularly high value. Let's continue on through here. These don't have a lot of stamps in them. So yeah, that all was very weird, and I'm still waiting to see. I mean, I told him, I was like, I laid it out. I spent an hour and a half really thinking about it, making sure that I'm not missing anything, and just making this really sensible, well-made email with screenshots. I didn't even misspell a single word. Like, I really took my time, because this is important to me. It's $600 of my hard-earned money, and I'm paying interest on my credit card for it. And yeah, they better give me my money back, because this is bananas. So I'm kind of pissed about it, and if they give me some kind of shit, I tell you what, I mean, I will quit Hipstamp, which would break my heart. I mean, I don't want to use eBay. It's easier to list on Hipstamp. These are all super common, and the fees are much more reasonable to me. I think they're fair fees. You know, Hipstamp gets a little money for everything you sell, and they get a little tiny bit of money, really, really fair, like 3 cents just to create a listing, which is like peanuts in the big scheme of things. And NATO, common. So I'm just really hoping that they do right by me and don't screw me over. I already feel screwed over. They better give me my money back. All I want is a basic store for an annual subscription. Like, it's really simple. It's $120. Have a good day. You're covered for a year. I don't know what the hell has happened. I don't like that I've been charged a lot. I don't like that my history has changed. And so anyway, that's my point. You see anything funny on Hipstamp, you know, watch out, guys. Take a screenshot on your computer, That way you've got proof. You know, like, I just wish I had taken a screenshot. These are a bunch of on-paper duplicates here. United States in space. So yeah, I was just regretting not having that screenshot, but at least I have the actual credit card transactions to prove that I was charged. You know, I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. Like, these are the transactions. Hip stamp. How come these transactions exist from Hip e-commerce? And I made sure I went and looked at my purchases and made sure that there wasn't any purchases for that amount on those days, and there wasn't. And it's like, I knew I wasn't delusional. Like, I already paid. So. Anyways, I wanted to take the time to tell all that to you guys because this is serious business. This is your money. You know, your money's your livelihood. They need to do better than that. Like, I'll quit and leave them and go back to eBay. Anyways. Stamps, right? This is US old. This looks like some 50s, 40s up there. So yeah, I'm still going through these. That one's ruined. These are all minimal catalog value. Still going through these kind of mixed minimal cat value stamps here. Germany. This must be Sweden. Denmark, Belgium. One more shot, hold on. And postal horn. AM post. That's kind of cool. Overprint here on Deutschreich. I can't remember if that's a Hitler era stamp. I can't remember right off the bat. I think these AM posts actually are. Those are Hitler era, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Netherlands, yeah. Denmark. Oh, that's a Hitler era, I think. At least some of those are. '21. Wow, that's actually. Is that? Yeah, I guess 21. Huh. Well, if that's the day, maybe it's the 14th of February, '05, actually. Yeah, it's an '04 stamp. So these are on paper. I like this one with the selvage attached. It's cool. Kind of looks like a CTO. That one's Hitler. The black border. God dang it, I'm forgetting his name. Oh boy. I'm ashamed that I can't remember his name right now. Darn it. Maybe it'll come to me. I have had a kind of long day too. What is that guy's name? I keep thinking Heisenberg. Any of you guys ever seen Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad, to be honest, is one of my absolute... This is cool. Breaking Bad is one of my absolute favorite shows of all time. I actually avoided it for years, thinking it was probably all hype. But that is seriously one of the best shows I have ever seen. The acting is just so good. Story is amazing. I love Breaking Bad. I also like the spin-off Better Call Saul. That's like just as good. I didn't think it would be, and it's really good too. So highly recommend those shows to you guys if you haven't seen them. I know some of these postal horns can actually have good value. This is this bigger? There's some that are bigger and smaller, I think. Yeah, see? The green one is smaller. I think the bigger ones actually have potential to have some value. This doesn't look like a CTO either. I'll set it aside just for fun, but I know that because my grandfather had some of those, and he actually had like a mint, like a partial, excuse me, like a partial strip or block of a sheet, and it was actually, I think, the highest value thing that he had in his entire collection, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to rewatch his video, or could just go look at his album again. To see. But I think it really was, at least when they're mint, the larger postal horns of this design actually, in the higher denoms, actually have decent catalog value. So, yeah, I'm looking through this pretty. That is super cool. Look at that plane. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 6 engines. It has some kind of building design slogan cancel on there as well. 55 denomination, I guess. Super cool. I don't think I saw that in the past. So. Another thing I wanted to mention, these German stamps, they bring up that whole inflation period. In the last video, I was kind of talking about like general rule of thumb, the higher the actual face value on the stamp, the more they're worth. That's not always the case, but that's a pretty good rule of thumb. And that's not the case when you get to like these German inflation period stamps, because you'll have like 3 million, like 5 million on the stamp, and it doesn't mean the stamp is that much more valuable. It's just because their currency was that much less valuable during their inflationary period. So you can't just say that every stamp, no matter what it is, that has the higher face value is more valuable. That's not the case. Different countries throughout history have gone through different inflationary periods, which has just skyrocketed the face value on the stamps to just like obscene denominations. So, but in general, like, I mean, if you see like a U.S. stamp that has like a $40 stamp or something, I mean, that probably actually has a good cat value. But there's certain countries you just got to watch out for. Germany's one of them. They have some ridiculous face values, and they're not worth anything. Denmark on/off paper used. That's cool. 2 marks. My guts tell me not major value, but I'm going to set that aside anyway. I still haven't thought of this guy's name, even though I haven't been trying. He appointed Hitler as Chancellor. Oh god, this is going to kill me. I have to look it up real quick. Hindenburg, duh. Jesus. Well, at least Heisenberg wasn't ridiculously far off. Hindenburg, duh. Like the disaster. Man, I can't believe I couldn't think of that. Guys, I am not some master with history. I've learned probably more history from stamps than I ever did in school. I didn't really pay attention in school. I didn't give a crap. I was like an average student, C+, B student, no A student, And history never really interested me in school. It's definitely more interesting to me now, but my problem with history is I just can't remember it all. It's not like I lived through it. There's just an awful lot. I think that's a Nazi stamp. I don't know. Can't remember. See, I have a feeling. Nah, maybe not. Maybe a 50-50 on that one. I'm not sure. It has actually been some months since I was delving through building my Nazi section in my worldwide album. See, this is what I'm talking about. I just can't remember everything. That isn't really history, let's say, but There's a lot to know, and to actually just sort through stamps and just know from their face, like every single one, what they are. I mean, that's, you know, I need to do this for probably some more years, so I really can just like every single stamp, like know exactly. You know, I don't know if that's even possible with all of the countries in the world, but see, like I haven't come across a single stamp here that I think is worth like $20 catalog value or anything. Yeah. All these are like 25 cents, 50 cents, maybe $1, $2. You know, none of this stuff's is rare or valuable or anything like that. So I know that much. But I could be wrong. If, like I said last time, if you guys happen to see something like this guy, oh, that's worth, you know, about $50, tell me. That way I can give her a proper appraisal. But I don't think so. I bet you this is worth like 50 cents, maybe $1 in the catalog. This is actually not the worst pile. There's definitely some older German material here, so this is not bad. I like this envelope here. Oh, that's Sweden. That's an old one, portrait, but it's not like their first original releases or anything way back. You know, at least I don't think so. I'm actually going to set that aside just to make sure. I don't know why I think this one might be like worth like $3 or $5 or something in the cat. I mean, it's 2 marks, so I'll set that aside. Yeah, like I said, anything I'm not sure about, I'm just going to set it aside. I know these Hindenburgs, you know, this one's ripped. Some of these actually aren't bad, $1 or $2. Those Hindenburgs, but some of these are all just a bunch of on paper. I find myself, I guess it varies from my mood, how fast I'm going to move through these. The first video I was definitely moving quicker, but this envelope I am finding what I consider to be like a little bit better quality stuff. Germany, old German stuff is, I actually find personally intriguing. Look at that's Belgium, actually. Yeah, that's right. We're seeing Sweden, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany. This is Norway. That's pretty common, though. Well, Belgium. Or that's Sweden. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm about done with this one. I just wanted to, like, I'm going a little bit more detailed. This is what I'm talking about with those high face values, like at 3,000. I want to look this up and see what this is actually worth. I bet you it isn't worth much. It's hinged. A little bent perf in the corner. Otherwise, it's not bad. Slight indentation in the center on the bottom. Too bad the corner's folded, otherwise this would be a pretty little stamp. I'll set that aside just for fun. And just to see. Boy, I've just been getting lost in my thoughts and talking. Look at that. See, that's exactly what I was referring to. 500,000 stamp. Okay, and that's worth like 25 cents or 50 cents in the catalog. So that's that inflationary stuff. So anyways, I think I gave a pretty good look through here. There's actually a few older stamps. I mean, 100 years older, whatever. But yeah, none of this screamed high value to me. Okay, so about that guy. Tim Fenning. Okay. And I think those postal horn stamps for Germany there have better cat value when they are mint. Haiti. I mean, that's some random Haiti stamp here. 1 cent. Ugh, gosh. Nasty hinge. Piss poor shape. Missing. It was perforated. Somebody cut that out. Bummer. Worthless. That was a fun one to look through. A little back corner. Which one to post here? I kind of liked that envelope. That wasn't bad. Fun to look through. Next envelope, Olympics, and this won't be worth anything, but that's okay. Yeah, nada. Nope. Slogan. Olympics 76, yeah. Okay. I am hoping to find some cool higher value stuff. Not just because I could potentially buy this from her for a fair price, but that would be good for her, right? Like Carrie, you know, if you watch this and I happen to find something of value for you, that would make me feel good. So these are just aviation, super common. That'd be super cool, you know? You know, it's not all about the money, but I am valuing this collection is the whole point of this. So we're looking for anything of value here. This is definitely not it. What is this? Monticello U.S. flags. Nice paper piece though, but yeah, nothing special. I had somebody who said he was an old-time collector comment and say, you know, I'm always, he notices I'm always saying the word value in most of my videos. I kind of do. I always am on a little bit of a treasure hunt. That's part of the fun for me. I mean, come on. Why not? He wasn't saying that in a negative way. He's just saying, I notice you're always talking about value. And I do. You know, there's different collectors that are interested in different things out here, and I'm not gonna lie, I've intentionally spent a lot of money on stamps in my collection that I know are worth money and have resale, so that I do actually have a valuable collection, because I like the idea of that. I want to have things that are worth money. I don't mind things that aren't, you know. Let's straighten this camera out a little. Sorry guys. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that part of it, you know, the treasure hunt. It's fun. I don't know why it wouldn't be fun for anybody. I don't know why somebody would have like a stamp that's worth $1,000 and think, you know, I don't care at all. I mean, that's cool. It's worth $1,000, you know. It is a weird thing though. Like I have that British Guiana stamp, right, number 7, $13,000 catalog value, but it's really only worth like $1,200 because so many faults. It's amazing how faults can detract so harshly from catalog value, all the way from $13,000 to real world, real life reality of about $1,200. But it's still an expensive stamp, I mean, but that's just how it goes. 72, Italia, cool. I am not seeing anything valuable here. This is all pretty common, but that's okay. Francais, 1 franc. There's the sower, right? Sowing seeds. There's Congo. There's I think they call these coat of arms or something. This one here. French, man, I definitely got into some French stamps. Again, doing Grandpa's collection. Italy, Romania. 5 franc. This isn't horrible, but something tells me it isn't worth much, but I'll set it aside. I mean, this is where in my head it's like, what do I set aside? I mean, I don't want to like make a whole bunch of work for myself just looking up a bunch of stuff that I think might be worth $2 to $5. I mean, I'm trying to give her a fair shake. I told her also I'm looking through this, like what I consider to be way more closely even last video when I was moving faster. But I think this is kind of better stuff. I kind of want to look through this a little bit better. But I think I'm looking through this like way better than an actual dealer would who was valuing a collection. I don't think they're going to even be as calm and casual and take such a good look as me. Postage in Inland. Yeah, that's an early Great Britain stamp there. Might be worth a few bucks. Also because I'm taking a little more time and sort of sifting a little bit better. That's cool. Because hold on, let me change some settings. I don't understand how my settings keep changing. I must be fat fingering my camera. Sorry guys, a little inconsistent this video, but my what is it? I can't remember what that is. Something was set to 80. It should be 125. Yeah, this is a bunch of different stuff. So mixed up from all over the world. I just want to kind of make sure I give it its fair shake, you know, when I'm looking through it here. It's an old-ish Italian stamp. I kind of want to go too fast. I was talking to Carrie and telling her that, you know, I was going to video it, and she was a little worried about some of the stuff being mislabeled, but you know, it's no big deal. I told her if I ever actually buy or look through a collection where literally every envelope is properly labeled and organized and doesn't have any misinformation, I would be completely blown away. Every collection that I've ever bought or gone through has things mislabeled. You know, I'll have like an envelope that says France and it's got Germany here. I mean, whatever. And like, none of that's a big deal, you know. So they're all mixed up. It's usually not so perfect, especially you know, mixes like this. That is a cool overprint. What is that? Romania. My guts are telling me it's worthless, but we'll set that aside just so I can familiarize myself. If I see something I don't know, I want to get familiarized with it. You know, one thing that in my head I am really looking out for is you know, older portrait stamps. Like I was saying, most early releases from most countries were just portraits of royalty. That's not always the case, but that's pretty common for older stuff. And of course, earlier issues have better value. So this was a good mix. It was a fun mix. I liked it. Get back in there. This is very standard stuff. You know, this is, I hate to say it, like I don't really have any major issue in this kind of, or major, I guess, interest in this kind of stuff anymore. I mean, it's, like at least purchasing this, I might still, but this is what I had spent so many thousands and thousands of dollars on. Just massive mixes of random stuff. And I have just spent, I mean, there's no way for me to know how many hundreds, thousands of hours, whatever, over the last couple of years that I have spent organizing and identifying and sifting through these random bundles of mixed stamps in varying condition, from good, fair, very good, very fine, you know, condition, you know, poor condition. Just to think for a sec, I mean, that was actually a fairly fat glassine right there. We made pretty good progress. I've gone through a good bit of glassine so far. But, yeah, like, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think I'm evolving as a collector to the point where, you know, what good does, I'm going to have a shot real quick, guys. Cheers. What good does a huge box of mixed material do, you know, have for me? Like, not much. I've kind of almost gotten my fill of that. And I'll admit, like, you know, sometimes that's great and I like sorting stamps. Sometimes I feel like it. It is still the thrill of the hunt. I mean, I haven't lost that. That's pretty. I actually have this whole set. I love these Persian stamps with the shiny borders. That's a fantastic. I love that stamp. So anyways, like, yeah, I've just done so much of it that these days, like I was saying in the other video, I'm kind of changing my interest in all of this towards a little bit better quality, a little bit more organization. You know, this is why I haven't pulled the trigger on an Apfel bomb collection in a while, is a lot of them are just mixed up, and it'll be pretty much this stuff. I mean, it's just some guy collected a whole bunch of mixed stuff from all over the world, and you need to spend, you know, the next 5 years of your life sorting through all of these minimal catalog stamps to bring order to chaos. Now, I have gotten extreme satisfaction from bringing order to chaos with these stamps. There is a very strong sense of that for me. I mean, like, let's say this pile of stamps here, I can sort them all. Sorry for the bouncy camera, guys. I can sort them all. I can identify them all. I can catalog them all. And take this pile of randomness and bring order to it. And that's a good feeling. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's actually quite nice sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you just feel like sitting down and just going to work, you know, and just focusing on stamps and let the rest of the world drift away. Let your problems drift away. Just forget all that dumb crap. What somebody said, what you think about this, like, who cares? Sometimes I find stamps to be just a real nice distraction. You know, like the from the let's say I don't know, you know, the helplessness of being alive or whatever. I mean, just like, you know, whatever in this world is on your mind that weighs on you. Or, I think that stamp collecting can really be therapeutic in its own way. And so sometimes I like to just sit down and just let the world drift out of my mind and focus on my stamps. It's fun. You know, people have all kinds of things to distract themselves, to pass time, to keep busy. And I think stamp collecting is an absolutely fantastic way to do that sometimes. Sometimes it feels like just a lot of work. It kind of depends on what I'm doing, you know. Like you can be as mindless with stamps as you want, and you can be as mindful with stamps as you want. You know, if I just want to simply sort things by color, like I'm, you know, I have like a IQ of 5, just be like, this is the same color, you know, I could do that. If I wanted to sort things by animals, or if they're airmail, or if they have people, or whatever you want, right? I can sort things however I want. I can make an album. I mean, this is Oh, that's Ethiopia. That's cool. I don't see a lot of Ethiopia, even in my own collection. This is where you have the open creativity with stamps, where people say there's no rules here. Let's say if these were my stamps, I could do absolutely anything I want with them. I could set them on fire. I could make them into a funny little hat. I could do whatever the hell I want with these stamps, if they were mine, let's say. And, of course, I would never do anything like that. But just to kind of explain my point, I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's a free country, at least here in America, right? It's a free country. Do whatever you want. Do it however you want. This is okay, so I'm done. This is part of the joy of stamp collecting, is no rules, guys. Do whatever you want. My favorite in this pile is definitely the Persian stamps. Those are cool. I don't think they have major cat value, but so yeah, I mean, that's part of the love of this. It allows your creative juices to flow. You can do whatever you want. If you don't want to go through the hassle of learning how to identify all the stamps, learning the steps, buying the tools, going through the growing pains, even if you just wanted to be like a dummy stamp collector and just collect them because you like them. Who cares what the perfs are? Who cares what the watermarks are? Who cares when they were released? Who cares anything? If you like stamps because they're pretty, is all the reason that you need. You can collect them and just enjoy them. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like people, like these old-timey collectors, these old traditionalists that have been doing it for 50,000 years here, they take it so seriously, and stamp collecting doesn't have to be serious. I'll admit, I've gotten pretty serious into it because I've actually bothered to make the effort to try and learn, how to really tell, different papers apart and identify watermarks and perforations, and I just wanted to understand everything that I possibly could. I find learning fun, so that's part of it for me, is actually learning. Like I was saying, I can't remember the history of every country of the world. I can't even tell you that I really care. I just can't remember it all. I try. I find certain things more interesting. Like, I think Zeppelin stamps, real Zeppelin stamps, are super duper interesting. I love that. I like Hitler stamps. I mean, not that I like Hitler, I just like the history. It's a rich, real history of the world. It can never happen again. Unique kind of stuff catches my interest, and it's different for each and every one of us. So, just like you can choose any hobby in the world, if you choose stamp collecting, you can choose any approach that you want. Do it however you want. The point is to have fun. Sometimes I find myself making it so difficult. Sometimes I make things harder for myself than they need to be, and it detracts from the enjoyment. Let's say like I really wanted to identify this stamp, but it turns out it's like a really hard stamp to identify, and you've got to tell the difference between like soft porous paper or versus like some very similar soft porous paper. And it's like, come on, like how the hell am I ever going to tell the difference? Like, I really would want to be able to identify it, but sometimes I run into roadblocks with stamps where it's like, shit, it's just the kind of thing you would just send it to an expert. I mean, hell, I'm not going to spend, weeks of my life, studying and reading books, and I'm not going to pop $5,000 on some stamp microscope, or whatever. Just like I know that there's like really expensive equipment that some of these professionals have that are thousands and thousands of dollars, and they can really tell watermarks and all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm just not going to buy that. I'm sorry. At least that's how I feel. I just don't feel like it. You shouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars to enjoy this hobby. You can enjoy it however you want. Just so happens I have spent a freaking buttload of money on it. But then again, part of the thing that I like about it is, like I was saying, I like valuable stamps. Sure, I don't think any of this. I'm looking at what I'm going through, guys. I'm just talking at the same time. So, but I don't think any of this is worth much. But I like valuable stamps for sure. I like valuable anything. Valuable jewelry, whatever, right? So when it comes to stamps, I feel the same. Yeah, I mean, if I have a stamp that's valuable, that's great, and I like that about it. It's just one of the aspects that makes it unique. Maybe it could be the history, whatever. Yeah, I like high value stuff, and so I have spent money, good money, that I'm still paying off on my credit card, to have a valuable collection. And I can go and look at them, and there they are. They don't change my life, but I enjoy them. And one thing that where I was headed with this was that it's not like they're worthless. Like I'm saying, like I can say this is worthless. Well, I'm looking for valuable stamps here. I mean, this isn't worthless. This is all minimal catalog value, 25, 50 cents, something like that. Most of these are 25-cent stamps. They're just not worth anything. It's kind of cool. It's the truth, There's a lot of them, but no, they don't have any real value. They're not worth $100. None of these, not even $20. So, yeah, I like to have valuable stamps in my collection. And the thing is, even though I've spent so many thousands of dollars buying stamps that are valuable, with actual real-world monetary value to them, to house in my collection, it's not exactly like it's money lost. You see, I could have spent $20,000 on cocaine and blown through it and had nothing to show for it but some lost brain cells. And with stamps, at least if, like that British Guiana #7, if you pop, $1,200 and buy a nice stamp, I mean, it's not like I lost that money. I mean, I can always sell the more valuable and expensive stamps in my collection. I could actually sell my whole collection to just some company like Mystic Stamps or the APS store or somebody, for one big lump sum. Like, I could actually get my money back, a lot of it, if I ever felt like it. Now, I definitely don't yet. So I'm not going to sell anything. Like my Mystic album that I made a video of from 1847 onward. I mean, there is real value in that album. That album, actually my giant worldwide album I'm working on, that thing has a lot of value at this point too. I don't know if it beats Mystic, but it's definitely got high value stuff in there too. They're worth real money, What I'm really after in my personal collection, a little bit more premium material, So, let's say on Apfelbaum there are, $10,000 collections, right? And they're always 60% off, so that's really $4,000 I'd pay. I don't know about you guys, but like I've spent the time to go looking through all of the scans and images, and I mean, the more expensive the collection, I mean, there's definitely cooler material in it. There's no doubt about it. And I don't know. I guess kind of what I'm thinking I'll do is, instead of spending $20,000 again on just a whole bunch of random freaking collections of mixed contents and material from all over the world, next time I'm willing to pay a little bit extra and get a little bit more premium material. And I just like that idea. For one thing, I have very limited space where I'm at. I'm not just gonna live here. I'm gonna move out and get more space, but I don't plan on it like right away. And the truth is, that 7-carton collection, that was actually like physically annoying to have in my room for it took me like a year to get through the last box, to sort it in my cabinets and find space on my shelves and disseminate it throughout my little living space here. Buying those massive collections, a little bit of an inconvenience for me, but it was incredibly fun to go through. But yeah, I'd rather get like a little bit more compact collection that's more expensive, and that's fine, but more premium quality. So we just went through, it looks like 10 glassines or something like that, maybe more, maybe a little bit more, and I didn't see anything super crazy. Now I did set aside little piles here of these stamps, right? And I'm going to first, I think, use the stamp identifier app to see if it'll just lessen the effort to identify those. But if the app doesn't work, then I'll go look them up. I don't mind. Just to refresh myself on them all, because everything that I set aside either I know has some value or I think might, right? So if I'm not sure, I want to sharpen my skills on each one of these a little bit better. But like this Deutsch, like this guy here. Darn it, camera. Yeah, the postal horn. I already know that this isn't worth probably $10 or anything, but I can't remember what the actual value is. So I'm going to look it up just to refresh myself. Anyways, this will do it for part 2 of this search. Now, I was telling Carrie that I expect there'll probably be 3 or 4 videos worth of content out of this box, but god dang it, there is still so much material in here, and I guess it was how I was feeling today. Kind of took my time looking through these glassines a bit more than was probably necessary, but I think today I just kind of felt like going slow and browsing casually. Whereas maybe next video I may feel like kind of focusing a little bit more on moving a little faster through this common material. Just didn't seem to mind today. So anyways, as I'm looking at it now, I do feel like we actually have gotten through to the better material at the bottom, and my god, there's a lot of it. We're finally down to kind of like nice glassines with complete sets, that kind of stuff. So there may actually be better value in this thing than I have foreseen, but we'll see. Looking in this box, like, there's still a lot of stuff in here to go through, so this series might go more than 3 or 4 videos, but we'll see how it goes. I do intend to actually take a fair bit of time doing my best to give an honest and fair assessment of what I actually think these are worth. So I don't even care if it takes 10 videos to do it. I'm going to do it as well as I think I can. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed looking at some of these, and definitely get ready to look at what looks like better content on these next upcoming videos. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.